Before we get into the video, I need you guys to do me a favour. Number 1, like the video. Also comment, let me know your thoughts on the case. Church Road, located in the NW10 area postcode, commonly referred to as Church Road, was commonly known as a deprived and dilapidated and destitute community. The implementation of the British Nationality Act meant that a lot of yardies from Jamaica and other Caribbean areas and communities were able to come over to the UK and set up home, all the while having the same rights as UK citizens. Now, instead of these people looking for employment or a better life, these trench town gangsters had come over to the UK and continued a beef that was already full-fledged back in Jamaica, filled with political angst, family rivalry and also theft, and a battle for drugs. Now, the yardie culture reached a maximum in the mid-1980s, bringing in pistols, drugs, crime expanding into boroughs of London, Brixton, Stonebridge, Brent, Harlesden. So lawless was the term yardie culture that in 1993, yardies were actually blamed for the M of a police officer, Patrick Dunn, who had been struck in Clapham, and it proved fatal. Yardies such as Escobar, real name Winston Harris, helped to shift the mystique of being a yardie, and now these guys were famous in their own communities. So, Cash money, commonly known as Cash, was a product of the yardie culture. Now, Cash, real name Shakah Anderson, had grew up in the Stonebridge area, Bridge Road to be exact, with his twin brother Nukes. Now, his dad was said to be a member of notorious yardie gang too, so growing up, bashment, cutlasses, and crack was apparent in his life. Now, rumours say that Cash and his brother actually saw firsthand how to chop up gear and package it for wholesale, which was no wonder that by the time Cash was a teenager, he was already on the London streets making money. Now, Cash was considered a Northwest gangster from an early age, not only for his no-nonsense attitude, but also for his fierce loyalty to the people he held closest to him, like Zino, rapper known as his brother. Himself, Zino, and other Church Road legends like Jazzy helped create Church Road Soldiers as a music collective rather than a gang. Influenced by Patwa and bashment sound, Cash Money adopted his sound in his music, and he was actually going places. Rumours say that at one point he was on the verge of signing with Movado. Now, in the early 2000s, Cash followed in his dad's footsteps by supplying Northwest London with Class A gear. A part-time GM and a part-time rapper, Cash was quickly establishing himself as a money man. He also collaborated with Church Road artists like Skrilla Kid, Gappy Ranks as well, so the movement between Church Road and Stonebridge was normal. Sadly, things would take a turn for the worse though. Now, thugs of Stonebridge member Shorty would end up shooting Cash in the face. Now, that bullet struck the side of his face over an incident on a bet on a football match. Now, Shorty was said to be a hothead, overcompensating due to the fact that he was small in stature, and Cash fell victim to being robbed of crack and also £10,000 in cash. Now, fast forward to the 15th of December 2002, East London grime rapper Dizzy Rascal held an event at the Tudor nightclub. Cash and Zino had went to the event armed with pistols after they heard that TOS member Shorty would also be in attendance. Now, they concealed pistols in oversized clothes and also covered their faces. They then mingled through the scrum of 300 people that was in attendance. Now, ironically, this event was an anti-gun event. As I said, 300 people were in attendance. Now, reports say as soon as Cash spotted Shorty inside the Tudor club, Cash allegedly pulled out his pistol, aimed, and then fired at Shorty, point-blank range, striking him in the head. Shorty was taken to hospital but was pronounced dead a short time later. Now, Ensman, another TOS gym, had been struck in the neck. He managed to find himself out of the club, but sadly collapsed in the alleyway where he was pronounced dead also. Now, when police investigated the incident, a London drug dealer connected to TOS gave police evidence and explained that they had seen Cash, real name Shakah Anderson, and Zino, real name Wayne Freckleton, commit the M's. At trial, however, Cash took the stand to protest his innocence, telling the jury, "I'm not a G-man. I am none of that. I smoke a little drug, I make music, I'm not running up and down with pistols trying to end people." However, Cash beat the case due to the jury not being able to believe the witness, of course, because they were a dealer. Now, the fact that Cash had beat a M case, his stock rose, and in Church Road, he was a legend. His revenge was completed, and it was testament to the length that Cash and Church Road would go to in order to complete their mission. Now, due to these now issues with Stonebridge, Church Road then became a gang. Cashh, Inches, Scraps, Nukes, Hydro, they all participated, allegedly. Now, after the case, Cashh actually moved to Bristol, but he was caught dealing in 2004. Now, this left Zino to run Church Road by himself without his best friend effectively. And then on the 3rd of July of 2011, ICB members Cashh, Scraps, Jazzy and a few other people had attended Bristol Carnival when an argument occurred with a known rival who went by the name of Lynch, real name Rico Adams, who was part of the Press Road crew. On CCTV, he showed both members, Lynch and also Cashh, get into a disagreement. The disagreement became animated and both men would ultimately draw their pistols and then fire upon each other. Tragically, a bullet was traced back to Cash's pistol. It ricocheted off a wall and struck Rico Gordon, then boyfriend of Mayor Gemma. Now, Rico Gordon was also known as Vagues and was part of Ladbroke Grove. Now, Vagues was pronounced dead a short time later. Now, Cashh was arrested for the M alongside Lynch. The CCTV was played out back to the jury in court. Cashh would ultimately be sentenced to life with a minimum term of 32 years. As for Lynch, he would also be sentenced to life with a minimum term of 35 years. Stay safe.